Hey guys, what's going on? I know I haven't did a redemption video in a while, but I'm gonna end up doing a redemption video today. My redemption video today is gonna be about a person that I met at the time when I was homeless, named Nicole Wilkerson. Now, Miss Wilkerson, I have no idea where she is. I have not contacted Miss Wilkerson ever since about the end of May of early June because it was a couple weeks before I got out of incarceration. Um, I have no idea where she at. Um, I would definitely ask her. I would have definitely asked her to do this uh, the video or interview with me, but she would probably decline. Um, Probably, but um, like I said about my YouTube and everything, with the redemption is getting things right and giving everybody the 100% truth. So I met Miss Wilkerson at the time when I was homeless. Um, and at that moment in time, she didn't even know that I was. Um, at that moment in time, I was playing I was playing the field and I was messing, I was actually, dating her and talking to a friend of hers. And the one friend that actually hooked me up with Miss Wilkerson was one of her close friends named Tanya. And at that moment in time, so everything was going along fine with us and everything. Um, she didn't know that I was going to school or anything like that, um, and stuff. But she also didn't know that I was homeless. So her and her two friends got on video chat. And they were talking about not video chat, but they had a group chat on Facebook, and they were talking about me and the individual or whatever and what I was doing. So when it finally got to the point where they confronted me on it and they gave me the minutes and all this stuff, and for me, that's when it came to a head, and I just broke down and I just let it all out because things were getting kind of frustrating for me at the time, and that's when I told everybody I was on. So at that moment in time, um, it was came into a state of shock. I think, you know, for her to, for me to admit that I was. And for me, I did that to let her know. And about a week later, uh, she contacted me through text, letting me know, as much as I want to leave you and let you go, I can't, and just to see, how I was doing. But what I had found out in a later sense was that it definitely was a underlying plot underneath that I didn't know until it was released to me in group chats. They ended up trying to talk to me, and I didn't see them. And the only reason why I hadn't seen those messages until wow, about 6 or 7 months later after that was because I think it was because by the grace of God. Because at that time, my walk with Christ, I was still in the process of working and working on it. So, meanwhile, for me, still working on my walk at that moment in time, knowing that I would have seen those messages, um, I probably would have flipped out and I would have laid a few people out. Yeah, just basically everybody that was in the chat that was out. So for me, it was better off for me not to see those at that moment in time. And at that moment in time, in the group chat and in the group text, she had told him, I was going to get the money from him to use it for his money. So I didn't see that until later. It had to be, I'm going to say, in December, before Christmas. And they had talked about this about 6 or 7 months before. So at the time, I didn't know what was going on. So, my thing was I was trying to help her and give her money out of guilt. At this moment in time of me being homeless and I was get money from school, my thing was I felt guilt of doing what I had done to her. I would tell her as well as one of my other friends that I would have a dream about me running away and running away from her and from her friends, and they would be carrying knives and they would stab me in the back or they would stab me anywhere. And the worst part about it was I was hurting, but I wasn't dying. So it was for me to be there, and I felt the guilt. And that's how bad of a guilt that I felt at the time. Like, I wanted to die, but I couldn't die. And in the so I had to take it and suffer. And that's how much guilt that I felt. Another one is what I remember telling her was that I remember me, and it was like a big lynch mob, and I'm about to get hanged, and everybody's yelling to hang him, hang him. And when they end up letting me go, releasing me to be hanged, I see them laughing at me. And all those videos, well, not the videos, but dreams were a reaction of guilt. So I was trying to do anything and everything that I could for her at the moment in time, knowing that I was homeless. So, I was doing anything and everything. I let a good friend of mine down to go over to see her in Portsmouth. And I know that I let this individual down because of they needed. I did help them, and then which I will say in another video that they were really helping me all along. So in the situation in the relationship I had with Miss Wilkerson, we it seemed like she had put everything behind her. They had put everything fast. I would go over there sometimes. While I was in school, I would go over to her house. Sometimes for the weekend, I would chill and everything like that. I remember one time I was there for the opening ceremony of the Olympics. At the time, and she ended up going out with her friends. So I said, "I'll be here." She said, "Okay, make yourself at home." And she made it look like that, nothing was wrong with us, that she forgave me and she forgot, and she really never forgot about it. And she tried to make it look nice, to play nice at that time, to get money from me. And I found that out later on from a good friend as well. So time had went on, with us, and this is when I got blessed with staying at the Extended Stay Hotel with the help of Barbara Harvey and Link, and with the help of Ward United Church of Christ. They came through and they actually helped me to actually be a part of the church at the time, and to actually be the church custodian. So in dealing with that, I felt very thankful, very grateful. The meantime, when I see my life going up, her life was going down at a moment in time. She lost a place to stay, and ultimately had some health issues that were going on, and I felt really deeply, deeply bad that she was going through those health issues. And then the one thing that I realized in September, beginning October, was that this individual, every time I turn around, we would have a conversation, but the conversation would end with a money situation. And that's the thing that got exposed to me. Like every time you guys have a conversation, you can't have a conversation about how your day is going, how you're doing. It would always be a conversation that ends up at the end of the day, I need money for some money for that. Um, at that point, and I realized that what really took the caper was what I remember was this. Um, I had talked to her one day, and she was over in the area where I was at, and she said she was in one area, and she said she didn't feel well. In one place, ended up turning out totally different. She was in another area, and from my unreliable source that I have, she was actually with somebody else, hanging out with somebody else. And the reason why I know it from this reliable source, because this reliable source was there and seeing her, she was hanging with somebody else, and they already was hanging with them. So, to reiterate that and to add on to it, the very next day, after this situation happened, I actually seen her driving away from an area where she was. And I looked and I knew that it was her. I knew that it was her vehicle. Like so. And something that just took the caper from me at that moment in time. And we really basically stopped communicating. And with us, start having no communication with each other for a long period of time, I started to really focus on me and focus on what I had to do. I was in school, I had an internship, ended up getting a job. Ended up getting that job after the internship was over, after Christmas break. I was still as a church custodian there, and on New Year's Eve, she had sent me a text message hoping that things would be okay. Wish me happy New Year, because how she where she was going to be at, how she was going to feel later on, and that she hoped that things would be. She hoped that things would be different for us, and would have been different between us. And I always said, for me, I would be there and I would always be a friend to her. There is a lot of things. Once I found out that I was being used as a pawn for money in things, this was like after I found about those messages in the group chat. She really apologized for it and all that. She said the anger got the best of her, but what you said you was gonna do is use me for money. You actually did. So instead of you stopping the process and saying, I'm gonna stop this or whatever, she kept everything going. And I understand for me, at the part or whatever that I did give her pain in the beginning. I just wasn't a good guy. I was out there, I was playing the field, and I just wasn't a good guy. I turned over a new leaf after I said I was homeless, and I strictly stayed committed to her. But she was very concerned about one of her friends that didn't turn it back on me, that would help me at times and stuff. And she was concerned about why I would go there and why I would be around her and everything. And I'm saying that she's actually helped me. She supported me. If you want me to stop talking to this person completely, I will. It moved forward. And she kept saying no. Now, for me to say that, I was willing to do anything that would make us work at that time. After I had came clean and admitted to what I was doing. At that moment in time. But things didn't work out. So to end the video, I don't know if Nicole would watch this, but I can understand why things went down the way they did, and it was because of me, and the main part. And if anything that I've ever done to you, anything, I really would like to apologize for it, right now, because I really don't know when I'm ever going to see you or anything, because I just don't. Otherwise I would definitely apologize to you face to face instead of being on this video. But, I just want to apologize, and I hope everything is going okay with you, and, everything's going all right with your family. So this concludes this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Black Kane. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell inside.